If Homelander's cameo at the end of Gen V's first season was mind-boggling, its counterpart in Season 2 was Sister Sage's cameo. Well, now it's beyond an ounce of doubt that she is in a relationship with Godolkin via Cipher, who, it turns out, is actually a simple man named Doug. Unlike everyone else, including us, Sage knew that Cipher was actually just a puppet being mind-controlled by Thomas Godolkin, the then burned and sickly man. She knew that everything Cipher did or said was actually desired by Godolkin, including the sex scene. That's why she pushes Cipher's head back during the act and looks at and starts to look at Godolkin. We also learn that she's now the new Vought CEO, and although Ashley is still at Vought, she's in bad mental health. In addition to this, Sister Sage, in The Boys Season 4 finale, finally told Homelander that he should now brace for Phase 2 of her plan, and should always listen to her. And then there's the fact that at the end of Episode 5 of Gen V Season 2, she brings Annabeth to Cipher to speed up the process of making Marie her most powerful self, before telling Cipher, aka Godolkin, that he didn't have much time, but ensures that the two of them would get everything they ever wanted. If you connect all of this and add into the equation that Sister Sage is involved with Godolkin, the one big question that arises is, what the hell is her plan with Thomas Godolkin and the larger Boys universe? Is she also of the idea that weaker soups must be cold? What is the everything she's talking about? Is she truly a fascist like Homelander and company, or does she simply want to watch the world burn in a Heath Ledger's Joker-esque style? Well, that's what we're here to find out in this video. But before I begin, please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Those 2 clicks from you will help us tremendously in bringing you more of these marvelous videos. And now, let's begin. Let me begin with this season's 5th episode. So, in the second half of the episode, she brings Annabeth to Elmira, so that the young girl could be killed for Marie to be resurrected. By the way, I'm surprised no one asked Annabeth what death looked like after she was brought back. Anyway, the only reason that Sister Sage does that is to ensure that Cipher or Godolkin's plan to make Marie reach her full potential is executed more quickly. And that's exactly what happens. Marie learns how to fix the human body, and in doing so, she also fixes the powers of the soup she fixes, which is how she managed to bring Thomas Godolkin from his vegetative state into his healthy and vigorous self. But at Elmira, the institution, she reminds Godolkin through Cipher that he was running out of time. This is when Cipher tells her that if he succeeded with Marie, Homelander wouldn't like just how powerful she is. And in response, she asks him not to worry about Homelander. But not only that, she also tells him that they're gonna get everything they wanted, as in Godolkin and Sister Sage. And she's playing Cipher now. I don't think that Sister Sage is a Machiavellist villain. She's a bad guy, yes, but not in the traditional sense. See, Gen V Season 2 takes place after Boys Season 4, and her Phase 2 is already in action. I'll speak about what her Phase 2 could mean in just a bit, but before that, let me remind you that she's now brought Homelander to power, though a puppet president of the United States. But was that her real and primary goal? No, she cannot see her country being ruled by this man-child who always craves attention. But at the same time, he's become uber-powerful and has a huge following. Naturally, she would want to oust him through some means, and who better to do the job than Marie? But does Sister Sage really want to go ahead with Godolkin's plan of culling the weaker soups? Well, I personally don't think so. Sage has always been someone who wants to see what she can do, and she wants to see the potential of her mind games and her intellect. I mean, she admits that whatever she did in Season 4 was to see if she could actually pull off such a grand scheme, but maybe she didn't see every aspect of it. And as for serving Godolkin, she's just using him to get what she wants instead of actually believing in his ideology. Episode 8, or the season finale, might see more of this, but I don't think Godolkin is going to go anywhere. He's gonna stay for The Boys Season 5 as well. I mean, it's more than clear that Gen V is not just a spin-off any longer. It's been an essential viewing for The Boys. Now, assuming that Godolkin stays in for Season 5 of The Boys, he would want to kill soups, but Homelander is not really gonna be up for that. What he really wants is soup supremacy and not soup genocide. Yeah, he may kill a Daredevil-like superhero for trying to be overly ambitious, so much so that he wants to join the Seven, but Homelander would never agree with mass culling or genocide of soups. The most important reason behind this is that doing so would make him less desirable in the general soup community. This guy really wants to be well-liked and loved by those around him, and this is where Godolkin comes in. He only wants gods to walk the earth, uber-powerful men and women, so by getting into a relationship with Godolkin, Sage has him on his side. And by being the Vought CEO, she has control over Homelander. Hell, she's shown him that he absolutely needs her, and that he's gonna shit his pants without her. And if history is any proof, we know how often Sister Sage has used others through sexual means to do her bidding. Case in point, Black Noir 2 and The Deep. Both of them used to do her, and she used both of them. I believe Godolkin is gonna be no different. He just doesn't know it yet. And as I said, Homelander is way too dependent on her. By pitting Homelander and Godolkin against each other, Sister Sage is pitting one bull against another, one ideology against another. And what comes out in the end is anyone's guess. Maybe, just maybe, she wants to remove all the bad soups by pitting them against each other. Although it might sound like a stretch, it's not entirely impossible. See, she's not a racist, we know that well. She's not inherently a killer or a genocidal maniac. We know this as well. So maybe her motivations are not all bad. What do you think? But let's for a moment talk about the Phase 2 that she spoke about in The Boys Season 4 finale. Well, I think Phase 2 means segregation, but not the racial segregation practiced in the US a couple hundred years ago. This segregation is on the basis of powers. The soups are to be treated as a separate entity than regular humans who never had Compound V in their system. If you remember Boys Season 2, this practice had already taken shape. Even the entry into God Use Campus was done in 2 different queues, one for soups and the other for humans. I'm sure the practice has been extended to other places and institutions as well, and of course, all through the US. If this stands true, there would be more such phases, but Sister Sage is not doing all this out of hatred. I believe this is just a part of her longer plan to ultimately make people hate the evil soups. And by people, I mean humans and other regular soups alike. If not, Phase 2 either means that she would try to have Homelander extend his reach from the US to neighboring countries, because, let's face it, no fascist country ever wanted to isolate itself from the world. Each has wanted to extend its hard power or soft power to the neighboring countries with the vision of blanketing the entire world with the same ideology. On the contrary, Phase 2 could mean the beginning of the downfall of Homelander himself. But that seems unlikely, because if that's one of Sister Sage's agendas, she would never mention it even in a mysterious way to him. I wonder what her real plan is. That's all in this video, folks. See you next time.